In the Void War, death is rarely the end. Flesh is more than just flesh, and the monsters, sometimes they're hiding just under the surface. Welcome to the Twisted Bricks universe, where the bricks bleed and the gods battle. But before we dive into the darkness, check this out. This content is sponsored by Just My Game, the #1 custom miniature seller on Etsy. If you like top quality custom accessories that ignite nostalgia and exclusive figures that stand out in a collection, I can't recommend Just My Game enough. I reached out to the owner in 2023 to ask about partnering to create the Archangels for the Hunger of Slag movie, and he was more than excited to help make them a reality for the Void War universe. Now viewers of Twisted Bricks can enjoy a discount at his store while supporting the channel. Click my link or use the code on the screen at checkout to get a nice discount on your order. Again, use the code on the screen at checkout or my link in the description to get awesome accessories from Just My Game at a discounted price. Now, back to the video. Let's start with the basics. You've seen them before. The hungry husks of the fallen, reanimated by ancient viruses, radiation, or mushrooms. But Void War zombies are different. As our plastic friends found out, the zombies of the Void War were simply incubators for something far more powerful, hungry, and unstoppable. Fortunately, the early zombification stage is the easiest to handle. Nevertheless, every zombie and every being infected by slagic flesh is connected to the hive mind known as Krozoks, and as a result, they are all susceptible to mutation into a wide variety of gruesome, dangerous slag forms. But regardless of their form, shape, or color, all slagic forms share one thing in common: hunger for sentient life. If zombies are the starting point, mutations are the creative phase. If the host is a human-turned zombie, at some point a mutation will occur and the slag will morph into something a little different. Think arms where legs should be, mouths where lungs used to go, tentacles, tendrils, etc. These mutations aren't random, or at least they don't seem to be. Each mutation is sculpted for purpose: speed, strength, mobility, or sometimes reproductive efficiency. The worst part? The host sometimes remains conscious, trapped behind the sinew, watching it all. Not all slag fits neatly into the traditional categories. Sometimes they mesh with an entire environment, patches of corrupted terrain, flesh-ridden walls, twitching vines, puddles that reflect moments you haven't lived yet. This isn't nature as you know it. This is the biome of slag. You'll definitely feel out of place, but if you stick around, you'll blend right in. Some slag, such as the Siren Dead, use psychic energy in a very haunting way. The Siren Dead don't attack with claws or brute force. They use hallucinations, memories, voices of loved ones, echoes of safe places. They use your mind against you to draw you in. If you can't break the spell, well, welcome to the hive. And maybe you thought machinery was safe. Well, think again. As you may remember, the robot Kevin became forcibly corrupted, his bionic interface perverted into a hellish golem called the Gatekeeper. Slagic psychic fields are known by slagologists to interfere with unguarded technology, but it is very rare that the technology is used as a host. Nevertheless, it does happen, and when it does, the results are often incredibly surprising. If a zombie is the worker ant, the clod is the ant hill. Clods don't typically move much. They don't need to. These monstrous, pulsating mounds of slagic biomass anchor themselves deep within corrupted zones and begin to gestate. Their surface is rubbery, asymmetrical, and studded with eyes, eggs, tentacles, and all manner of reproductive organs and parts. They birth new forms, spit spores, and send corrupted tendrils across the terrain in search of hosts. And like all good parents, they protect their children. Quick pause. Are you an aspiring filmmaker? If you've ever tried making stop motion or action scenes, you know how much sound design matters. Low quality sound effects and a lack of sound design can make a scene totally fall flat. That's why I'm so happy that Video Loadout reached out to me regarding a partnership. They have amazing professional video and audio assets, and I am beyond excited to utilize their brawl sound effects bundle in my upcoming feature film, The Hunger of Slag. This pack gives you everything from cinematic whooshes to brutal impacts. The kind of stuff that takes a silent Lego fight scene and makes it hit. If you're a stop-motion creator, an editor, or just getting started on your creative journey, this is the kind of tool that instantly levels you up in a big way. And the best part? You can choose the bundle that's best for you, whether that's gun effects, gore, blades and impacts, dramatic whooshes, text animations, or visual retention assets. And if you're really serious and looking for a bargain, they've got a great deal on their action bundle. On top of that, Video Loadout is giving my viewers an extra 20% off when you use code TWISTED at checkout or use the link in my description and in the comments. I'm telling you, skip the sound effect hunt and hassle and get these awesome bundles. You won't regret it, especially if you love animating action scenes. Now back to the video. The Exin is the psychic reptilian host species responsible for bringing Slag to Earth in the year 2107. Nearly all information on them has been lost or destroyed, and in the year 3040, only the highest-ranking Kionic personnel know even a little about them. What they do know is that the Exin have or had some kind of symbiotic relationship to the Slagic hive mind. This relationship may have been compromised, as no trace of the Exin has resurfaced since the initial outbreak. Nevertheless, it remains a concern of the Unum series High Priests that the Exin will return in greater numbers or with more advanced technology and weaponry to finish what they started 1,000 years ago. Runners are fast and very deadly, sporting 2 or more legs and mouths or tentacles for snatching prey. Due to their speed and mobility, they are often sent as shock troops to disrupt threats to Clods and corrupted zones. Many Unum Virus personnel report that runners tend to target the largest threats on the battlefield, such as artillery or afflictor mechs. While Slagologists have not officially recognized this tendency, it is common battlefield knowledge to bring down runners as swiftly as possible. If they get past the front lines, you're in for a world of hurt. You'll never hear a clinger coming. You'll just feel its tendrils wrapping around you, and by then it's too late. Small, fast, and impossibly sticky, clingers are ambush parasites, often curled into tight, inert shapes resembling debris or a natural part of the environment. But the moment you get close, they spring. Remember, when traveling in a corrupted zone, your psychic channeler is your best friend. Slag is known for its strange forms, but this one is more familiar. Any elongated slag that slithers and coils is recognized as a serpent slag. Some are short, some are small, some are massive, but they will all try to take a bite out of you. If you come across one, you might be okay, but if you come across a nest, you better hope someone packed the grenades. Slag crawlers took a look at your arachnophobia and said, "Hold my beer." Low-slung and sticky-footed, crawlers drag their mutated frames across surfaces, walls, and even ceilings. They are generally slower than runners, but their strength lies in their ability to sneak and lunge. Whether they have 3 legs or 8, you'd better hope you have twice as many bullets. Remember when I said Slag was unpredictable? Feral undead are the result of biological resilience. When Slag first appeared in the year 1276, one of the most devastated groups was a secluded subspecies of human that we would recognize as the Elves of Lore. These elves were resistant to mutation, but not corruption. The last surviving elf colony was completely slagified, turning into a flesh-eating tribe of feral, green-skinned monstrosities. Unfortunately, this event brought an end to the elf species. The Iron Skulls are a twisted mix of slagic corruption, warped metal, and psychic sorcery. They are actually controlled by an autonomous commander, who himself was instructed by the sorcerer Vyldain. More on him later. The Iron Skulls completely destroyed the village of Odenshage using brute force and dark magical technology. Their reign was short-lived but terrifying, as they fight with complete apathy and don't show a shred of mercy or empathy. It was at this battle that the Iron Skulls destroyed Kevin and took the life of General Gatner. But as you all know, this was far from the final battle. Once a proud sorcerer, even Vyldain could never have predicted the psychic danger presented by the Krozok's hive mind. As a result of his immense psychic power and ability, he became one of the most powerful slagic unnaturals ever known, his true essence trapped deep within his subconscious mind. The ancient channeler Corrin tried to pull Vyldain from the madness, but he was far too late. Cornering the dark sorcerer, our heroes faced off against his final form, a slagic behemoth with unthinkable regenerative ability and strength. Swords, axes, and daggers proved ineffective against the beast. It was almost impossible to land a blow, much less reach a vital organ or core. Not everyone made it out of the fight alive, or at least not the way they entered. In the end, Kevin and Corrin merged their essences to create a new being capable of overpowering Vyldain. Thousands of years later, this being would be worshipped as humanity's savior and a divine entity, the Great Kyo. There are creatures that crawl, creatures that sprint, and then there are those that simply hover. Floaters are bulbous, fleshy abominations held aloft by psychic levitation and gravity-warping cores. They are feared for their powerful psychic fields, which are a frightening hazard for the psychologically vulnerable. Floaters are scouts, feeders, and harbingers. Where they go, larger horrors tend to follow. You'll most often see floaters hovering near the surface in large numbers, but beware Leviathan floaters. Larger than starships, these planet killers pose one of the greatest threats to the multiplex. Not all slagic entities are made out of flesh. Some are truly hollow. Apparitions are visual echoes, hallucinations projected by potent slagic consciousness. They can appear as lost loved ones, former comrades, or even your younger self. They watch, they whisper, they cry out. And when you acknowledge them, they react. The more you believe they're real, the more real they become. Sligs are the worst part of stepping somewhere you shouldn't. They're small, worm-like, and terrifyingly fast. Most people never see them. They just feel them enter through the soft tissue beneath the eye, the ear, or worse. By the time you're aware, you're screaming. And by the time you're done screaming, you're not you anymore. Poppers are the slag's answer to landmines, except they move, they waddle, they hiss. They look like a bulbous naval mine wrapped in soggy flesh and veins. But when they spot a target, or are disturbed, they swell with volatile slagic pressure until they burst. The resulting explosion sprays highly infectious Aka fluid and occasionally fully formed Sligs. And if you try to gun them down, they are more than happy to burst prematurely. So if you hear someone yell, "Popper," your best bet? Run as fast as you can. Before the Void War was even a whisper, Slade was a decorated TCF soldier with a dark past, efficient, deadly, and utterly determined. Then came infection, exposure, refusal. Where others collapsed, Slade endured. And the slag noticed. It didn't consume him, it made him its witness. His body warped slowly, subtly at first. A tendril here, a whisper there, but it never took his mind. And that was the real curse. Because Slade remembers everything. Every comrade he outlived, every mission he failed, every lunging monster. Now he roams the fringes of both sides, neither hero nor villain. Too human to be slag, too slag to be saved. They say war makes monsters of us all, but for Slade it couldn't be more true. Some think he hunts slag. Others think he communes with it. He exists deeply shrouded in the fog of the Void War, and it remains to be seen whether he will be the Antichrist or the Messiah humanity needs. Only one thing is certain: no one like Slade has ever lived, and the limits of his ability remain undiscovered. With the help of the right channeler, his ability just might change everything. Thanks for joining us on this tour of nightmares and necrosis. Which Void War monster is your favorite? Comment below. And if you liked what you saw, hit like and subscribe and dive deeper into the Twisted Bricks universe. And if you didn't like what you saw, maybe don't turn around.